I see no good people turning their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way.
How do we get people to understand that actually they're lied at? How do we make them feel that their perspective is based on many assumptions that are not natural? They're caused by manipulation in all perspectives and times.
Yeah, that's the hard part, huh? Essentially what you're telling them is everything that they've learned to believe in sacred is really, they've been lied to and they're suckers. That's a hard thing to say, you know. So I think the best way is in films, because it's not somebody standing up and talking to them or confronting them directly, but you know, just what people are doing also within the movement, learning how to talk with people. You have to start at their level so they're not offended, saying that you thought just like they did so they can identify with you. And sometimes you can go 3 steps forward, and if you see that they're getting angry, you might have to go 2 steps back and agree and then try something else. It's kind of trial and error to see what works with what person. And sometimes if you say certain things, they might come back later and understand after experiencing some other things. But we think films are the best way. Film is the best way to get to people. It can reach more people in the shortest amount of time. You know, people can write about it, do music about it, do art, you know, about these new ideas, the Venus Project, the Zeitgeist movement, but mostly talking to people one-on-one and practicing that. I think it's a great thing that the Zeitgeist members, after we leave certain places, are beginning to make PowerPoints and make lectures and go out to talk to people. But I think it would be wonderful if they had a place to communicate and put their lecture online so other people can take it and try it, and then talk to one another about the questions they received and how they answered them, and how much progress they made, and so they try other things. It might work different in different countries as well. We've seen that. So the more you can talk amongst yourselves, the better also. And another good thing is that people are beginning to take the reading list within the members themselves and read the same books and then go and talk about them, see what they got out of it, each member. And it's a great way to learn different values and start incorporating some of the things that they learned or what they read, and experiment with other people in that way as well. And then come back and tell other people what happened, how they answered certain things, what luck they had, and how they might have answered differently, and keep trying different things. You know, you really have to hit your head against the wall with all this and do all the wrong things to arrive at what works. So you just go out and try it and don't expect success in the beginning, but you will improve.
There is a status in any society at the moment of many assumptions, and there are many things that happen. Let's say the crisis of the banks, yeah, and people start to wonder and say, okay, what's happening there? I don't understand it. And so
you want to know what will turn people around within society?
Yeah.
Okay. Most people, as I mentioned before, I don't know if you asked me the question or maybe Christiane asked me the question, as long as, for the majority of people who aren't wise enough intellectually or emotionally, they don't have the luxury to sit back and ask what's going on in society, they really have to make a living. And for most people, as long as they're making a living and paying their bills, paying their mortgage, paying their kids' schools, they won't look for anything else. It will take them losing their jobs, losing confidence in their elected leaders, losing their houses, and sometimes losing their wives and their family before they look around and say, something's wrong. We have to look for another alternative. And this is the time to be speaking with people, because as things fall apart even more, if they get so militant that you can't go out and speak to people, or you'll be more of a target, it will be harder. So this is the time to get the information out there so people will have a direction to move toward when they're able to listen to it. Many people can't listen to it right now.
Yeah, I was before I started the Zeitgeist movement in Munich. I was walking all day long in the city around and discussing with many people, and most of them agreed with my words totally. And the only thing that everyone was believing was that he is the only one. Yeah? But I talked to maybe 50 or 60 people in this month, or maybe more, and everyone said that he is the only one who is thinking this way. Yeah? So
Sure.
maybe the potential in the society, I think, is here, and maybe we only need to encourage people not to adjust to the society we have, because most people don't want it. They just think that they have to do it, and maybe if we demonstrate a kind of practical way how to get out there, they will just start to adjust to something that seems to be natural to themselves.
Well, people don't know what to move towards. That's why we feel film is so important, to demonstrate. And, you know, sometimes they have a bias if somebody comes up and talks to them. So film is a good way. They can sit down and look at it. We want them to walk out in the audience and say, why can't we live like this now? If you show people something, they don't misinterpret it as it goes in their head, and it comes out with their past associations that might not have anything to do with what you're really saying. So showing people with films is, I think, one of the most appropriate ways.
Yeah, and then maybe we need great actions to really encourage people. Maybe demonstrating the film guerrilla with some kind of beaming the Zeitgeist addendum somewhere, so that people wonder, hey, what's going here on?
Right. Well, everything that the members are doing are really fantastic. They have all sorts of methods to try and get this direction out there, and I think if they talk to one another as to what they're doing and share more of their experiences, which I think they're doing on TeamSpeak now, is a great thing.